Sticks and stones may break your bones, but TV shows and books will smash your soul into a billion pieces.
Ain't that true?
The truest thing that's ever been truthed.
Been true?
Yes. Welcome, Game of Thrones fans. It's me, Anna.
I'm Mark.
And today we are watching Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 8.
Hardhome.
Hardhome. So, yeah.
All right. What do you think will happen? Any idea?
Well, Hardhome is the place that John's going, right?
Yes, it is.
John's gonna get to Hardhome, or I'll show some sort of travel thing of them getting to Hardhome.
Well, let's start with a recap.
Okay.
What happened at the beginning of The Gift?
The gift.
John was leaving for Hardhome.
Yep. So, starts off where it began.
So, what else do you remember from the last episode?
Well, the gift obviously was referencing Tyrion as the gift.
Yeah, that's the gift, yes.
From Jorah to Dany, because nothing screams present as, "Hi, I'm Tyrion Lannister. My brother killed your father." But yeah, that was the last scene we saw from Tyrion.
Yep.
And it's been what feels like forever since I watched the last episode.
Yeah,
Not nearly as long as Dad has to wait for season 8, but I mean 10 days.
10 days since the last time we actually filmed one.
I know.
So.
Let's see. Sansa was trying to get the candle. Sansa was trying to get Theon
Reek.
to get a candle into the window of the broken tower, which I immediately recognized as the tower Bran fell out of.
Yep.
So yeah. What else happened?
Maester Aemon.
Maester Aemon died.
Yep.
The only necessarily real natural death, because it definitely wasn't poison, obviously wasn't a stab wound.
Nope.
Literally the only natural death.
Yep. And soon after that, we had Gilly getting in trouble.
Yeah, Sam was stalling, really, and then...
Oh, he said they were wore out. He had them right where he wanted them.
Yeah. Well, he was still saved by Ghost.
Yes, he was.
Ghost to the rescue. I wish Polly was like that. I wish Polly was a lot more like Ghost.
Right.
And Ghost is always so quiet. And Polly's just like bark, 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 bark. It's kind of annoying.
Bark and just kind of jump on you.
Yeah, she does that.
Okay.
So I have a scratch. I literally have a scarf like 2 years ago from when she just jumped onto me and she just scratched my leg. Though, part of that's because I kept on picking the scab.
Yeah, that happens. Then they ended up with a scar.
Yeah.
Scar from the scratch. What else did we go to? What happened after that?
It's hilarious. My 2 favorite crows started off going to the wall, taking them back as virgins. Now they've both lost their virginity to wildlings.
Those wildlings. I tell you what, they'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And, I mean, they'd almost all be on my favorite 7. But sadly, one had to go and die.
Yeah.
And is on another list. Sadly.
Sadly. Talk about Stannis and Melisandre.
Yeah, that thing. See, if you haven't noticed by now, Stannis is now in my middle ground. Because, I mean, he still has done some bad stuff, but I like him a lot more. Because, I mean, he protected Shireen by saying no.
Exactly. On that note, this is the comment I wanted to read to you.
Yay, finally.
Chris Cox wanted you to remember that Melisandre has Stannis believing that he needs to be the king before winter comes, in order to save the world, not just to rule the Seven Kingdoms. So Melisandre has him believing that he needs to be king just to basically save everybody from the White Walkers and everything that's coming south for the real war.
See, this is why there shouldn't
So, he's
people
not-
shouldn't be warring against each other. They should be joining
Exactly.
forces, and especially with Dany, she needs
Right.
to use her dragons and just kill off all those White Walkers. Because I mean, White Walkers and Whites, they just die via fire and dragon fire. I mean, that's the ultimate weapon.
The council on who Tyrion or Tommen is going to turn to now that Cersei kind of wiped out a lot of the council, and all we could think
Small
of was
council
Qyburn.
grows smaller every day.
Kevin Lannister is on the council right now. That comes from Rob Van Fuch. Kevin Lannister,
Uncle, cousin,
he's Uncle Kevin,
Uncle Kevin.
and he's the war leader. But he is on the council now. That was the other comment I wrote down that I wanted to read to you. And I also have another question. Do we have anything else to say about Sansa?
Sansa. Sansa.
Sansa.
I say
Potato,
Sansa.
potato.
Yeah.
Because I have a question here that came from Douglas. Do you think Littlefinger knew what he was getting Sansa into when he dropped Sansa off to the
He
Bolton?
invented the game.
Right, but he did love Catelyn.
True.
He obviously cares for Sansa.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Littlefinger knew what he was getting her? And he didn't know Ramsay.
Yeah.
He knew Roose, but he didn't know Ramsay.
I don't know.
Don't know?
Because, I mean, he practically invented the game.
Right, and he plays it great.
He invented the game. No one can play it better than him. Sadly.
Do you think, so do you think he knew about Ramsay being a psycho?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Unlike us, which we all know because we're on the other side of the fourth wall.
Right.
Which is a lot better than,
Well,
the
yeah, we
sight.
get to see everything.
Bran could probably see a lot of things, but
Yeah.
we see more because we're on the other side of that fourth wall.
Yep.
That Pinkie Pie and Deadpool always break.
Alright,
You don't
Pinkie
even
Pie and
know.
Deadpool.
They would make awesome friends.
Okay.
Just like kids show and rated R.
Okay, what else do we have? Well, I guess, oh no, we got to talk about that too.
What?
Going to Dorne.
Dorne. Yeah. Okay, so Jamie and Bronn get to Dorne. Well, they were already in Dorne, but they finally find Marcella, and there's another team. Tristane. And they're kissing. It is kind of awkward. and then I call that cock blocking.
By Jamie.
Yes. Jamie was probably so mad, just like, what are you doing? Like any
But
father
couldn't
in
let
his
her
own
know
right.
at the same time.
Yeah.
But actually, that was episode 6 that you're talking about when they first got
Right.
there.
I'm getting episodes confused.
Yes. Episode 7, that's because it's been 10 days and we watched them both in the same
know.
day, so.
I'm getting so confused.
So, in this one is when Jamie was talking to Marcella
Right.
after and apologizing for what they did to Tristane
Yeah.
because it knocked him out.
Well, that was Bronn.
Well, Bronn and Jamie, they're the duo.
The dynamic duo.
And basically Jamie's saying he's taking Marcella back home.
Yep. That's not going to go over very well.
And then we had Braun and the Sand Snakes in the jail cell.
Oh, yeah. I saw what you did with the whole music video thing. I mean, I saw it once. I really want to see it again because it was funny.
I liked it. Braun, the 1990s singer, turned to Game of Thrones after 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did look a lot younger back then. And blonder.
Yeah.
So we had that going on. Braun almost bit the dust though.
Mm-hmm.
He was poisoned. That spear had poison on it.
Yep.
But I think she likes him because she
Yeah.
gave him the antidote.
Well, I mean, bribed.
Well, yeah. Well,
I like her.
but Bronn
snakes.
survived. Then we end up with we had Jorah in the fight. Oh, we talked about that right in the beginning. That was the person
Yeah.
we talked about. The gift.
The
Cersei talking to Marjorie, and then Cersei going to talk to the High Sparrow.
Yep.
And how'd that work out?
Well.
Well.
Ding. We had that kind of backfired on her, and I unconsciously guessed it, like when she first gave him the power, just like you.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all the scenes that happened, including one from episode 6. So
Yep.
decent little recap there. We hit a couple comments. I hit the one question. Do you have one question for after we watch this episode to go along with our discussion? But I think we're ready to start Hardhome.
Finally. Demi. She's just so quiet. I can just see the tension in the room.
You're great. I want to say.
not speak.
Me.
How do I know you are who you say you are?
I am the greatest Lannister killer of our time.
So I should welcome you into my service
And he's a
because you
Lannister.
murdered members of your own family.
No. Because
Into
his own
your
parents.
service. When I was a young man, I heard a story about a baby born during the worst storm in living memory. She had no wealth, no lands, no army, only a name, and a handful of supporters, most of whom probably thought they could use that name to benefit themselves. They kept her alive, moving her from place to place, often hours ahead of the men who'd been sent to kill her. She was eventually sold off to some warlord on the edge of the world, and that appeared to be that. Then, a few years later, the most well-informed person I knew told me that this girl without wealth, lands, or armies had somehow acquired all three in a very short span of time, along with 3 dragons. He thought she was our best, last chance to build a better world. When I served as Hand of the King, I did quite well with the latter, considering the king in question preferred torturing animals to leading his people. I could do an even better job, advising a ruler worth the name, if that is indeed what you are.
So you want to advise me?
Pretty
Very well.
much.
What would you have me do with him? I swore I would kill him if he ever returned.
I
It's a
know.
little difficult.
Why should
When-
the people trust a queen?
just
who
like
can't
his
keep
quick
her
glance.
promises?
When your life depends on the guy you kidnapped.
Whomever Ser Jorah was when he started informing on you, he is no longer that man.
Though, I mean, he does have this very contagious
Yes, he
disease
did
on his
betray.
arm that no one except for everyone on the fourth wall knows about other than him.
He's in love with you, I think. But he
Yeah,
did
I
not
think
trust
we all
you.
know that.
An unpleasant youth, to be sure, but one of great significance to you. Did not trust that you would be wise enough to forgive him.
So I should kill him.
A ruler who kills those devoted to her is not a ruler who inspires devotion. You're going to need to inspire devotion, a lot of it, if you're ever going to rule across the narrow sea. But you cannot have him by your side when you do.
What does that mean?
Remove Ser Jorah from the city.
Wow, getting banished for a second time by the person you love. His heart was more broken than the last time. Oh, it's spreading. Should have cut it off once he got it.
Let me speak to him. Confess. I meant it. My face will be the last thing you see.
Onto Moonsinger Lane. Turn left onto Ragman Lane, where I do most of my trade.
She will no longer turn left onto Ragman Lane. She will turn right and go to Ragman Harbour.
What will she do there?
Oysters, crabs, and cockles!
lighter, old man, would you? Very nice. Give me 4 with vanilla.
Please, you're telling us.
The man is a gambler. A girl named Lana will return to the docks. She will watch the gambler. She will come to know as much about him as she knows about herself.
The trial will take place. The High Sparrow will be presenting a substantial case against you.
The charges?
Fornication, treason, incest, the murder of King Robert.
All lies.
Of course, Your Grace. My concern is that the faith does not adhere to the same standards of proof as the Crown. I hope you'll excuse me for saying it, but belief is so often the death of reason.
I wish you'd said it sooner.
Your Grace, Grand Maester Pycelle has summoned your uncle Kevin back from Casterly Rock to serve as hand of the king. He now presides over the small council.
If you can visit me, then surely the king.
Your arrest and Queen Marjorie's arrest, the king has not taken them well. He remains in his chambers. His servants often find his food in the hall, left untouched.
You need to talk to him. You need to talk to my son and tell him to come and see me, come and see his mother.
He
He's going to watch her up.
To the High Sparrow, I won't. I made him. I rose him up from nothing. I will not kneel before some barefooted commoner and beg his forgiveness.
Tim Greyjoy tried to escape. And Master knew. He knows everything. He hunted him, and caught him, and strapped him to the cross. Got away piece after piece, until there was nobody on left.
Good. If it weren't for you, I'd still have a family. If I could do what Ramsay did to you right here, right now, I would.
Turned on Rob. Captured Winterfell. Killed those boys.
They weren't those boys, they were Bran and Rickon, they were your brothers. You've known them since they were born.
Well, they were only.
Only what?
I can't.
Tell me.
I can't, not unless the Master
Tell
says.
me, they weren't what?
They weren't.
Tell me why Bran and Rickon should be gone while you still breathe the air. Tell me to my face, Theon, tell me that they weren't your brothers.
They weren't Bran and Rickon. I couldn't find them.
When you realize you're not alone.
It was too far, boys. I killed them, burned them, so no one would know.
You did? Do you know where they went, Bran and Rickon?
I can't talk to you anymore.
Theon, you have to tell me. Do you have any idea where...
No, Theon, break!
Well, one's above the wall, the other is where?
Umbers.
Umbers.
More than half of those are mounted. I think you're missing an opportunity to show the people of the North how House Bolton treats southern invaders.
And what do you recommend?
Let me not sit and wait for Stannis to decide what sort of fight this is going to be. But we hit first, and hit hard, and leave a feast for the crows.
A smart commander does not abandon a defensive advantage. As long as we stay behind these walls, they can't touch us. Not to mention that this was so deep we couldn't get an army through to engage them even if we wanted to.
I don't need an army. I need 20 good men.
20.
Someday, if you decide not to execute me, I'll tell you all about why I killed my father. And on that day, should it ever come, we'll need more wine than this.
I know what my father was. What he did. I know the Mad King earned his name.
Here we sit, two terrible children of two terrible fathers.
I'm terrible.
I've heard stories.
Why did you travel to the far side of the world to meet someone terrible?
To see if you were the right kind of terrible.
Which kind is that?
The kind that prevents your people from being even more so.
Well, I did reopen the fighting pits. Under my rule, murder will once again become entertainment.
Yes, that was wise. After all.
Varys. King Robert's spy master.
Yes, he's the one who convinced me to come find you. He was my traveling companion before Sir Jorah seized that role for himself.
Jorah sent my secrets to Varys. For 20 years, the Spider oversaw the campaign to find and kill me.
He did what he had to do to survive. He did a lot of other things as well, things he didn't have to do. I suspect he's the main reason you weren't slaughtered in your crib.
But you trust him?
Yes, oddly. He may be the only person in the world I trust. Except my brother.
The brother who killed my father?
Yep.
That's the one.
Perhaps I will have you killed after all.
Your queenly prerogative.
Just
I've
talking
given
to
up
death.
on life.
Yeah.
Until Varys convinced me you might be worth living for. You chop off my head. Well, my final days were interesting.
I'm not going to kill you.
No. Banish me?
No.
So if I'm not going to be murdered and I'm not going to be banished...
You're going to advise me. While you can still speak in complete sentences.
Mine's always been a little.
Advise you on what?
How to get what I want.
The Iron Throne.
Lannister, Targaryen, Baratheon, Stark, Tyrell. They're all just spokes on a wheel. This one's on top, then that one's on top, and on it spins, crushing those on the ground.
It's a beautiful dream. Stopping the wheel. You're not the first person who's ever dreamt it.
I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel.
Where is this? Oh, it's the fighting pit area.
You said whoever wins will fight at the great pit in front of the Queen. I won.
You struck me.
Have me flogged. What makes you happy? I'm the best you've got. If I win at the great pit, how much can you sell me for?
You're a free man. You could have gone anywhere. Why did you come back?
Cause he
Let me fight
loves.
for her, and I belong to you.
You know, being in there for 3 days without any water.
I heard what happened.
Not to worry. Men brawl from time to time, it's only natural.
It's about the Lord Commander.
Yes?
He's going up to Hardhome to save all them wildlings. Wildlings killed my mum and dad. But what if we let the wildlings through the gates and they cut our throats while we sleep?
John's taking a risk, but he has to. We don't stand a chance otherwise. Sometimes a man has to make hard choices. Choices that might look wrong to others, but you know are right in the long run.
You believe that?
With all my heart.
Who knows? Maybe you'll find
Try
her.
not to worry, Ollie. I've been worrying about John for years. He always comes back.
Be killed.
Hmm.